Hi, this is Professor T.H. Culhane from the Patel College of Global Sustainability at the University of South Florida in Tampa, National Geographic Explorer, and board member and teacher here at the Rosebud Continuum Sustainability Education Center in Land of Lakes, Florida. We're standing in front of our new composting toilet built by Bishop Construction Company's wonderful architect TR. And it's a composting toilet with two different toilet stalls. Could be male, female, could be anything you like. But there's two stalls here, and both of them go into 55-gallon drums. This is a technique that we learned at Kibbutz Lotan's Eco Village in the south part of Israel. And the idea is using a 55-gallon drum on wheels, and inside that we have aeration pipes. And then we have a grid which then allows for liquids, the urine, to flow through and traps the solids, and then lets air flow back up through and down through to aerate the pile. That way we can keep this going for a good long time. There is a drain on the bottom of each of these, which you can see down there, so that we can periodically drain off the liquid urine, which is a wonderful source of nitrogen, which is great for the plants. And we use the fecal material that turns into rich soil, humus, and we use the urine on the wildflower garden here, where we're rewilding Florida, taking part of Land of Lakes, Florida that was destroyed by invasive species and returning it to its native goodness. And having fertility that comes from the human residents is actually a good thing, because now we're giving a jump start, helping out, supporting the native wildlife and vegetation with the things that we bring on the property when we eat our food and then pass the digested material. That's one of the great functions of a composting toilet. Another thing about a composting toilet is that it's water-free. We're not using up precious freshwater resources. We're actually adding water in the form of our urine and the moisture that's in our fecal material. It's turning into soil within a few months, and then it's going back into nature. So it closes the loop, so to speak, and we have a sign here for all the people who come and visit, noting what a composting toilet is. It recycles human waste. Solids and liquids are biologically converted into a fertilizer. It replicates natural biological processes. Oxygen is drawn through the moist organic materials via those pipes I showed you to create an environment in which bacteria break down organic matter without unpleasant odor. There is no unpleasant odor at all. It smells like soil. This environmentally friendly toilet does not use water. It saves water required for flushing a standard toilet. There's no flush here. It's a waterless toilet, so what we ask people is, please don't put matches, cigarettes, or cigars in this toilet. Of course, you don't smoke. We shouldn't smoke. That's a terrible habit. We don't condone that here at this education center, where we have a lot of kids visiting. Don't put feminine products in this toilet, because they often contain plastics. It's not the bodily fluids. They would also compost just fine. Only dispose of trash, diapers, and inorganic items in the trash can, not the toilet. Again, this is using organic material only. Food waste can go in, leaves can go in, grass clippings can go in, flowers, anything that has once been alive can go in, including sawdust and wood chips. Only use toilet paper, and the toilet paper is best if it's a biodegradable toilet paper, but toilet paper actually does break down, the regular kind, because that's what nature does with carbon-based materials that were in trees and plants, and that's where toilet paper comes from. Close the toilet lid after use, and then we have to chase what we do with a little bit of detritus, which I'll show you in a second. Let me take you around the back for a moment and show you how the drums are put in. So if you look back here, you can see the 55-gallon drum. You'll have to come in and sort of sneak your head under a little bit. You can see in here that there is a cylinder, a metal cylinder, that drops down from the toilet seat above and into the barrel via the lid. And then there is a hose for a drying machine, washing machine, drying machine, 4-inch hose, flexible hose, that goes up and then comes out through here. And then, because compost toilets tend to heat up because of the organic material in them, especially with the urine in it and the nitrogen to carbon ratio, the nitrogen helps make it heat up. Then it rises and carries any possible odors, lifts up naturally through convection, so the hot air rises. You can see that there's two tubes here. That's because we have another toilet thing here. And you can see the valve down here when we want to drain out with a hose to use that wonderful liquid gold that the urine produces there, and the struvite that comes out of it. And again, you've got the metal thing coming from the toilet hole, the toilet seat itself, and then you've got any kind of vapors coming up and going out there. So when we're done, when these fill up, which takes about, it'll take half a year to a year for each one to fill up, then we'll pull it out and put the next one in, and we'll let this cure for a while so that we can then use it on the to build soil here. So that's how the composting toilet itself works. That's where the material goes, into those drums like I showed you. Now come on over this way and let me show you what it looks like up here.
Sorry, it's hard.
Come on up. Come on in. Take a look at what we got here. So you can see there's a comfortable toilet seat here. And when we open it up, that's where that metal cylinder was. It just drops down in. It's lined with a plastic liner. And then while we do have some toilet paper for people, if you're dealing with the COVID-19, you might come here if you need to use some toilet paper, but you don't always need to use it. You can use a rag as well. We then have sawdust here that you can see. And after you do your business, all you do is drop a couple of handfuls of sawdust down there so that the carbon and nitrogen ratio are right for good composting. Carbon is sawdust, nitrogen is your poo and your pee. And so the ratio is usually about 20 to 30 parts carbon for every 1 to 2 parts nitrogen. And what we're doing is our poo is a small amount, our pee is a small amount, so 2 or 3 handfuls of this usually gives us about the right ratio. And we also have leaves. So you can also, if you don't have sawdust, you can just put a handful of shredded leaves down there. And then there is no smell. You can tell from here there's no smell at all. And some people keep the leaves in a bucket, and you can use the bucket if you don't want to have this stuff around here. But that's in lieu of, and that's a good joke, in the lieu of a flush. There is no water that you flush for this. Over here we show how to use the composting toilet. Everyone please sit down. We don't want to make a mess. Make your deposit. Toilet paper goes in too. Make sure only excrement, toilet paper, and scoop from bucket goes into the toilet. Sprinkle a scoop from the bucket over your poo pee. Close the lid, step outside and wash or sanitize your hand, and please use hand sanitizer. So that's what we have, and so that reminder is there. It's well ventilated. It's very nice. It smells really good because of the scented wood here, and of course the sawdust and the leaves. And you can use scented geraniums, and you can use flowers and all sorts of stuff. The other stall is just the same. So you can see here, it's the same sort of situation. You'd go here, you'd sit down on your nice throne, read a book, listen to music, have a good time, and then when you're done, all you do is grab a couple handfuls of this, put it in, and you're done, and then go wash your hands. The last thing I want to show you as we go back down the stairs here is that all of the exhibits here have signage. And this sign here is going up here, made on the X-Carve machine. Composting toilet, water-free, makes soil from poo. And this is called a ZAP code, or a Zapper code. So if you get Zapper, which is the app, these are harmless insects. They're always just, they're called love bugs.
They're not the ones who bit me?
No, they're just love bugs. So when you have your Zapper on your phone, which you can get on an Android phone or on a Mac phone, and you scan this, it will trigger this video and other content so that you can learn more and take the deep dive on composting toilets. And so every exhibit at Rosebud has one of these signs where you can find out more. And if you'd like to find out more, go ahead and even point your camera with Zapper at this video on this sign, and it'll trigger that content. So let's zoom in on that right there and hold for a second. No, back up. There you go. Hold there. So you can then take your Zapper program on your phone and scan this in and get the additional content for how to use a composting toilet. And so with that, I'd like to direct your attention. Remember, in the age of COVID-19 and any other diseases that compromise the immune system, the use of a compost toilet can keep other diseases from weakening our immune system and causing problems that otherwise might hurt us. So composting toilets are a great solution to prevent disease all over the world. Please think of using a composting toilet, even in your own home.